Hi everyone, this is Julie Bean with Beadaholique, and I'm going to teach you how to make a really sparkly, dangly earring today. And what we are going to be making is right here. So you see that this has some great sparkle to it, especially this bottom piece if it catches the light. Let's see if we can make it sparkle for us. There we go. So this uses bicones primarily that we're going to be creating a homemade DIY chain out of. And we're going to be using Crystal Shimmer and Majestic Green. And these are all 4mm. Now the Crystal Shimmer, these are all by Prestige, but the Crystal Shimmer is a lot like an AB, if you're familiar with an AB, but not quite as bright as an AB. So it's almost between an AB and a classic crystal. So it does reflect some rainbow pattern. It's got that shimmer to it, but it's not quite as bright as an AB finish. And then we have a little classic cut pendant down at the base, if you see that. So those are going to be our crystals. Now we're going to be using a long, elegant earring hook, which is a nice staple. That's a really nice hook. And then a jump ring and some 24 gauge wire. And the 24 gauge wire is what's going to allow us to make the little loops and connect these together as a chain to create our dangle. Our pretty standard tool set, we've got a pair of cutters, wire looping pliers, and 2 pairs of chain nose pliers. You could substitute round nose pliers as well because we're going to be making wrapped wire loops, and you can make wrapped wire loops with either wire looping pliers, which do some of the work for you. They've got a round nose and a concave nose, or you could do round nose pliers, which just have the 2 round noses. Both work great. Okay, let's make this project together. We are going to grab one of these pieces of wire now with our pliers. And what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and about 3/4 of an inch, ½ inch, 3/4 of an inch from the end, we're going to squeeze it. And that is why I like wire looping pliers, because they do some of the work for me. Rotate it up to the top and crisscross. Now, this is pretty thin wire. This is 24 gauge. You can either keep this wire in your pliers like so, or you can switch and grab that loop. It's totally up to you, whatever you're most comfortable with. But basically what you want to do is you want to do some wrappings around your loop. And just a couple times. So you've made some nice little wraps, and then you're going to trim your wire. And you're going to carefully tuck your end. And now what you want to do is you want to put on your beads. And you can choose the bead sequence that you like. I am doing 1 crystal shimmer, followed by 1 majestic green, and then 1 crystal shimmer. So that is the sequence I have. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make another loop right where it exits, but I have a little gap. If you can see the area between my pliers and the bead, there is a slight gap in there, and that allows you a space to do your wrappings. So this time I'm just going to keep them in the pliers so you can see both ways. And the pliers are what I'm using to grip it. And just a couple little wraps. And trim your wire, and then tuck your end. So we're going to do that again with another one. So for this one, we're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to grab that wire over, and I think I'll just keep them in the pliers. It's quite easy. It saves a step. But if you want, definitely go ahead and exchange out your pliers for your chain nose. Okay. Trim your wire. Okay. And then go ahead and do the same sequence. So we're going to do a crystal shimmer, followed by a majestic green. And you can use whatever colors you like, of course. I thought these were really pretty because they're year-round versatile. These would be great at the holidays. They'd be great in the spring or the summer or the fall. But you can, of course, customize whatever you like. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing with 1 variation. So we are grabbing our strand here. We're making the part of the loop, we're twisting it up, we're crisscrossing, and now we're going to stop. And what we're going to do here is we're going to open up this loop a little bit, just kind of notch it slightly to the side, and slip in the loop you've already made. and let that connect. Now you're going to go in, not with your wire looping, but this time for sure with your chain nose, and now do your wrappings. Okay, and I love the 24 gauge wire because it's really easy on the hands. You don't have to use a lot of strength for it. Okay, so we have made our chain. Now you can do more of these. You can make this longer. You can do just single units. You can do whatever you like, but this is how you make, if you were gonna do a DIY gemstone chain or DIY crystal chain, this is how you would do it. You can make an entire necklace or bracelet this way as well. So that is really the first couple steps to making this earring. Next step, we are going to go ahead and put a jump ring through our little pendant here. So we're just going to open up one of our jump rings. And we're going to open it wide enough that we're going to be able to slip that pendant on. And it goes on quite easily, which is nice. And then you're going to attach it to the bottom loop. There is no top or bottom actually, but you're going to attach it to one of the end loops and close it on up. You're going to go to the other side now, open up the loop at the base of your earring hook and slip this part on. Now, there is another part to this. So what you want to do is you want to look at how your earring is going to hang from your ear. So it's going to be like that. And then you want to slip this on so that your bottom pendant is facing forward, or as much forward as it can. Now, when you're holding it, what you're going to look at is your pendant facing forward? Mine actually is, for some miraculous reason, mine is. If yours was not, what you would do is you would grab your wire loops and you would just ever so slightly twist them, just with your pliers, just so that you can make it so that your pendant was facing forward. It's not hard to do, and if you do it carefully, you only do it once, it's not going to hurt the integrity of the wire. So that's going to be fine. I had to do it on this one because it didn't line up perfectly. So you just want to make sure that when it hangs, that your pendant is not kicked off to the side. But that's it. And now we have a really sparkly, fun pair of earrings that we can wear year round. You can find the supplies for this project along with the tools and a whole bunch of other projects over at beadaholique.com. Thanks everyone.